slovenský top podcast Krok vpred. Takže čau, tu je Roman zo Scandinavian Study a z podcastu Krok vpred a dnes tu mám hostia z ďalekého Anglicka, ktorý je Adam. Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
And we do this in English, obviously.
Wonderful, because my Slovakian's not that good.
Not yet. And I'm doing this for young people or anyone who is interested in different perspective, because I believe those world offers you false prophecy. People are orientated on money, on cult of body. And you are one of those guys who relies on good old education, and you perceive education as one of the good things or key things.
Education is everything. You know, young educated people are what transform this world and takes it on to the next level. So education is the vehicle and provides the opportunity for this world to change. And that's from everything from business through to the environment. It all starts from education, and it all starts from young people with the enthusiasm, with the passion to learn. That's what everything comes from. So for us, being able to provide the opportunity for young people to go on and realise their dreams and fulfil their potential is amazing, which is why, you know, we're so happy to have so many students come and study with us, and why we want, you know, even more students to come in, and certainly students from Slovakia as well.
Excellent. You coming from Coventry University.
Yep.
Let's start from beginning. Where is Coventry? How it looks?
Yeah, so Coventry University it's 176 years old. So we actually started off as an art school back in the 1800s. Since then, we developed into what's called Polytechnic, and then we had university status in 1992. So we're classed as known as one of the modern universities. Coventry University has absolutely thrived over the last 20 years. So we're now one of the biggest universities in the UK. We're ranked number 15 in the UK, and we've been ranked in the top 15 for the past 5 years.
Out of how many universities?
So there's 150 something universities in the UK. So yeah, you know, and we can all reel off names like, you know, Oxford and Cambridge, and going through some amazing universities in the UK. You know, Coventry is now up there pushing to be a top 10 university. We are different from other universities in the fact that we're a very modern, a very teaching but practical focused university. So for us, it's not just about your old school teaching, research. What we want to do is provide our graduates and our students with the balance between the academic learning but also the practical application of that learning. For us, it's all about providing our students with the means to be able to go straight into the working environment. So we want our graduates to be able to leave and go straight into a graduate level job. In this day and age, employers don't want someone who just has the knowledge. They want someone who's be able to put that knowledge into practice. They want students who can, and graduates who will finish and just walk straight into, you know, their office, their business, their engineering floor, and go straight in to be able to work and make a difference to the company. So we do an amazing job at combining the academic with the practical to making sure that our graduates are employability ready.
All right. You're saying you are quite connected to the work placement, right? And you are just in your study environment to this. Your facilities are amazing. You don't have problem with money, so you're trying to simulate pretty much the environment which students find.
This is it. So we invest heavily in our facilities. So 5 years ago, we opened up a £55 million engineering building.
£55 million?
£55 million.
All right.
But it buys you a lot of we want our students to use industry standard equipment. So we have a Harrier jump jet. So for we have an actual plane. So for our aerospace systems engineers, our mechanical engineers, they're working on a Harrier jump jet. We have one of only 2 Formula 1 simulators in all of the UK universities. That same simulator is used by 7 Formula 1 teams. We have wind tunnels, we have CNC machinery, we have everything that our engineers or our computing students need. That building, considering it cost us £55 million, is actually going to be full to capacity probably this year, if not next year. So we're having to invest another £35 million in a second engineering building, we invest heavily in our facilities. We've just opened up a £60 million science and health building. That science and health building, if there was ever an emergency in Coventry or in the UK, that building can be used as an emergency hospital because it has the state-of-art equipment. So it has everything from a real-life ambulance to houses within it to simulate things for our nursing students or our occupational therapists or our forensic investigators. We have one of the largest academic labs in the whole of Europe. It can house up to 297 people in one go. We invest heavily in our facilities because our students need to be using these facilities, because when they go into the job, they need to be using what industry's using. It's no good using out-of-date facilities or just getting the theoretical knowledge. It's not what employers want. It's not what our graduates want, our students want. It's not what is going to get our graduates a job and make a career. So we invest heavily in our facilities to make sure our students are using world-class facilities.
Wonderful, Adam. How many faculties you have? You have this faculty of engineering, faculty of medicine.
So we have 4 major faculties. So we have our faculty of business and law. So within that we offer everything from business management to law to event management, sport management, advertising, marketing, a whole range of business courses from business administration, business and law, business and finance. We then have our engineering, environment and computing. So that's everything from mechanical engineering to automotive engineering, motorsport engineering, civil engineering, through to computer science, ethical hacking, IT for business. Hundreds of programs within there. We then have our health and life sciences faculty, which covers everything from nursing, mental health nursing, physiotherapy, sports and exercise science, through to psychology, criminology, through to, like I say, sports and exercise sciences. Hundreds of programs within that as well. And then we have our faculty of art and design, which covers everything from graphic design, illustration, animation, games art. To
I think so. You have
lots,
plenty of
humanities courses, media courses. We're one of the biggest universities in the UK.
All right.
So in terms of student numbers, we have around 32,000 students studying with us.
And Coventry, how many inhabitants you have?
So in Coventry as a city, it has roughly 370,000
So it's
people.
over 10% of population is
So
students.
actually, yeah, it works out in Coventry. Something like 1 in 9 people in the city of Coventry is a student. There's another university in Coventry as well. So actually 1 in 9 people in the city of Coventry is a student. So the actual city itself is a massive student city. Our campus is city centre based. So one of our students is studying international law, and their friends studying sociology. It means they're not miles away from each other. They're literally a 5-minute walk. So what makes it great about Coventry is that all of our students live, study and work in the same area. 95% of our accommodation is within a 10-minute walk. So students don't need cars, they don't need to get buses, they don't need taxis or Ubers. Literally get up and walk in the morning. So it really makes for a very vibrant, very young student city for our students to come and study in.
Adam, it's quite clear for me and probably for you that as a part of your job you need to travel. You're traveling a lot around Europe. So you see different perspective on culture, on customs, on economy. When you are 18, I think so it's one of the moments in your life when you can absorb the different perspectives.
Definitely.
Why should someone, for example, now some student or his parents sitting at home and listening to this podcast, why they should think about going abroad? Why to not study in Bratislava? We have 200 years or 150 years old university here. Why to not study in Bratislava or to go to Czech Republic?
Of course, and some great institutions there. Firstly, British education is renowned as being one of the best in the world, and the amazing thing is that's open for people from all around the world to come and study with. Secondly, at that time of their lives, like you say, they're absorbed, they're growing, they're taking on so much information. So actually to leave their comfort zone, which is very hard for all of us, it's actually a lot harder when you get older than it is when you're younger, is an amazing time, because you are going to be learning to be self-sufficient. You are going to be learning different languages. English is the business language of the world. So actually to be able to take on their knowledge of English and grow this means that opportunities for them worldwide are there. It also exposes them, and certainly in Coventry, to people from all over the world. We're one of the biggest international universities in the UK as well. And we have nearly 1/3 of our student population is international. So you are meeting people from Nigeria, from China, from Thailand, from Russia, from Zimbabwe. And what that gives you is different perspectives. Your idea, or the European idea of, say, marketing is one thing, but how different countries market in, say, China, with no Facebook is different. So you get different perspectives, different inputs. It also means you make amazing connections, because you don't know if, the person you're sat next with for 3 years that you become best friends with is going to be the next, billionaire, the next Steve Jobs. And they think, okay, where's the young Slovakian student that I studied with? Let's reach him out. Social media these days connects everyone. LinkedIn is a fabulous business tool. Facebook, Instagram. It means you don't lose touch with these people. It means you can build up your
environment
and bring it through. So actually studying abroad and studying in the UK is fabulous. World-class education, chance to meet some amazing people and go through fabulous links to industry. So certainly at Coventry University, employability, as I've mentioned before, is key to us. We have very close links with large companies, but it also gives them the whole package of getting the skills, the language requirements to go on and really be at success. And one of the major things about a British degree, it is recognised worldwide. So whether students want to return back to Slovakia, whether they want to stay in the UK, whether they want to go to the States, Australia,
stands out on your CV.
It's absolutely recognised worldwide. So a British degree holds a lot of weight across the world. So it's an amazing thing for students to get and be able to use for the rest of their life. And it really is a stepping stone to great things. And it's weird when you're young and it's to universities, you don't realise that those 3, 4, 5 years at university are going to follow you for the rest of your life. So it really is your opportunity and a student's opportunity to go on and use that to fulfil their potential. So it's an amazing thing, which is why the UK is one of the most attractive places to come and study in the UK, because of the fabulous facilities, fabulous teaching, but also the opportunities that it offers.
Correct. Actually, you touched it, and one of the parts of education or going to study abroad is your schoolmates or classmates, and you don't know who you sit next to, and maybe in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, he can become someone important or someone who can open you the space to different markets or different perspectives.
Definitely.
And I would use it as example for when you're living in Bratislava. All your classmates probably will be from Bratislava or from some nearby cities with some particular level what they can achieve in life, right? And when you put yourself into a situation that you're sitting in class with someone from Italy, someone from Poland, someone from Germany, and for example, their parents achieve someone different in lives, they have different perspective what is achievable. And we've been talking before this podcast about those guys. If you could recall it.
So one of my favourite stories of our alumni is a gentleman called Ralph Debas. So he was is a Lebanese student who came and studied automotive design with us. Our automotive design course is recognised.
So he came as an undergraduate student?
He came as an undergraduate student to study with us, studied automotive design. He's subsequently gone on and started his own supercar business. So it's called W Motors. They're based out of Dubai. I think the cheapest one of their cars goes for is something like $1.2 million.
Reasonable.
This isn't a small company. This is and their cars are amazing. But actually, two of his designers at his company were classmates from at Coventry University. So you have 3 alumni who have gone a part of this supercar company in Dubai. In fact, some of the UAE's police force drive the cars.
All right.
An amazing company. But that has come from his experience at Coventry University, and then he's taken with him 2 of his friends that he made on the course who he could see were talented designers who have taken into that company. So that's just one example of
And another one, if you remember, this chief designer of McLaren.
Again, but we have people in McLaren. Over 1,700 of our graduates work at Jaguar Land Rover. So Jaguar Land Rover have their head offices in Coventry. So it's not just our automotive design students that go into it. You have people in HR, in PR, in sales, in marketing. And what we're doing is pushing those links into industry. We had a careers fest actually yesterday at Coventry University. KMPG have announced their involvement.
All right.
A few months ago we had Facebook, Google. People are looking for Coventry University graduates. They know the quality of education that we're providing, that the practical skills we're giving them. They are actively seeking us out to take our graduates because they know the quality of teaching they're getting at Coventry University leads them to go into great things. So, being one of the biggest universities in the UK, we have graduates who have gone all over the world. So we are very proud of our success stories and what our students are doing. One of our Kenyan graduates, a couple of years ago, he studied our terrorism and international crime. He started his own startup basically at looking at trying to stop Boko Haram growing around Nigeria and around those African countries. He proved so successful in this startup that he met with Barack Obama. He was invited to the White House a couple of years ago. It's stories like that for us make it a pleasure to invite students in because on one side you see people owning supercar companies making lots of money. On the other side you see people who are doing absolute great things to stop terrorism within countries within Africa. So those two stories themselves are completely different, but both doing amazing things and both look into that as stories that have come out of studying at Coventry University. So for us, education is key, and you can tell by the way I speak and you speak, it's a passion for all of us. And what I would say is the chance is there to grasp it with two hands, and the opportunities in there. And although it may sound scary,
it's
100%. We
here it sounds more like fairy tale. All this what you said, but it has been done. It has been done repeatedly.
Definitely, and I would advise all of our students to seek out people like yourselves to come and speak to you and go through the stories. Have a look at social media sites. Have a look at universities' website. There's a whole host of information there, and don't get me wrong, it is scary. It's a massive decision to make. However, you will see that thousands and thousands of students are doing it, and really, really, they're going on to do some fabulous things. So it is scary, it is nervous, new experiences, moving away from family, studying in a different language. However,
I would like to touch these language requirements. We are shooting this in Slovakia, and people in Slovakia, young people, they are not afraid of speaking in English, but they didn't do it on a regular basis in daily situations. If someone is sitting, we convince someone now is sitting at home, but he might think his English is not enough. What would you say?
Usually it is. I'm responsible for our recruitment from Europe. I've travelled all around Europe. Generally, our European students' English language level is really, really good. Sometimes it's a lack of confidence rather than a lack of actual skills that our students suffer from. But, for example, there's lots of Chinese students, lots of Middle Eastern students come to the UK to study. The majority of those students don't start learning English until they're 15, 16 because it's not widely spoken within that. Business isn't conducted in that. The majority of our European students started 10, 12 years before them. So, again, English music, English language, English shows, or football. It's all over. There's lots of interest in the English language. So, usually our European students are ready, and certainly when they come to the UK, in 4-6 weeks of speaking in English every day, reading, listening, their English goes from good to very good very, very quickly. So again, personally at Coventry, we have around 5,000 European students studying with us. Very, very tiny few don't have, the required skills. And what we do is we support them. We have a centre for academic writing. There's different ways of giving them different skills. But on the whole, our European students don't have a problem coming to the UK.
And once you are in an environment of English speakers, you have to just speak up. Right?
Yeah, that's it. And naturally you will adapt and your English will come on because you're surrounded by it, or you know, everything is in English. So you will naturally grow and be more confident. And like I say, the majority of it comes down to confidence. And my only tip for any students who are thinking about it, you know, if you're not taking English classes, is simply go onto English websites, go onto YouTube channels, watch Netflix, but take off the subtitles. You know, it's just little things like that. Spend an hour a week with friends just talking in English. There's little ways that can really improve your English skills without it having to be 8 hours a week in a classroom or anything like that. You know, generally there's little tips that students can do. And obviously with the internet going online, different reading, different programs, there's lots of easy ways to help you come through. But again, I would say the majority of our students, once they've been in the UK for 4 to 6 weeks, is they simply forget about how worried they were about their English language, and then once they start dreaming in English,
actually, I'm the living example. I went to Leeds in 2006, I think so. When my English was non-existent at all, and I was really frightened that I will lose my job. I was working that time in casinos as a croupier.
Okay.
And I just have to speak English. So I took classes there. I was reading books. I went to library, and I done everything which I have to do in order to start to speak English. And after 6 months, it was very fast with me. I really could have a conversation that would be understandable for both sides, not only for my side.
And this is it. You know, we expect our students to have a level of English, but
you're going to study at academic soil, right?
But again, the amount of students I've spoken to, it's all down to just nerves or lack of confidence, and I see those students a couple of weeks in, and they're speaking like
Adam, I know that you are in rush, so maybe just close this down. Everything in life has some price, right?
Of course.
And usually those things that are worth of something are a bit more expensive than something what is for free. Education in UK costs?
It does. So it's £9,250 per year. For undergraduate studies, it can range between 8 and 12,000 at our university for postgraduate studies.
But there is option, which is quite generous option from your government.
There is.
So student loan, right?
The student loan is available for all EU citizens, and it basically loans our students the money, same as it does with our British students, loans them the money to do their studies within the UK. That doesn't mean they need to pay back monthly whilst they're studying. The great thing about it is students only start paying back that loan once they've graduated and start earning over a certain amount of money. Now, say the students stay in the UK, it's just gone up actually. So once students start earning over £26,000 per year, they then start paying back that loan.
Which is considered as a good salary, right?
It is, you know, it's probably higher than the average graduate salary in the UK. So it gives our students a little bit of time and our graduates time to get a job, start settling, start working, start earning money before they need to start paying back that loan. So it's an amazing opportunity for students to take, because obviously with the new experiences, coming to a new country, studying in a new language, to have to worry about the finance side of things as well is a big concern. So actually that takes off some of the pressure of having to pay for the studies, and it's designed that you will start paying that back once you become successful and start earning in good money. So it's a massive
and actually,
benefit.
Adam, they pay, I think so, back only 9% of the sum
of what they earn
26,
over 26. Yeah. So if they only, let's say you only earn 27,000, you're only paying 9% of 1,000, which is great, and it's designed on a scale that the more you earn, the quicker that you pay back.
And I think the point of good education, when you're paying for the education, you're planning probably to do something bigger in your life, which brings also the money. So you're paying it back only once you can afford it.
Exactly, right? Yeah, and which is the great thing about it. And for us, you know, over 97% of our graduates go into a graduate level role within 6 months. So actually, you're not going into, and you know, there's nothing wrong with these jobs, you know, flipping burgers in McDonald's and serving coffee in Starbucks. You know, if you're going into those companies, you're going in at a graduate manager level and not going in. But what the idea is that it gives you the opportunity to go in and be successful, earn good money, and really give you the opportunity to be successful. And then once you're successful, you start paying back the loan. So it's an amazing opportunity for students, and one I would advise, you know, everyone to at least consider and think about and look into. You know, it's a big opportunity for students to come in and get an amazing education in the UK.
All right, thank you very much. I would just maybe at the end mention that young people just start to do things, not just to do likes on Instagram, on Facebook. Don't do positive in a virtual world, but just find some aspirations or some courage to do differential things in life. And one of those things might be going abroad on your own with a little bit of money and try to achieve something in life, in real life, not in virtual life.
100%. You know, the world's becoming a small place, and, you know, it really is the time to capitalise on this and go and experience new things, new adventures, and really give yourself the best opportunity to be successful in whatever you want to do.
All right. Thank you very much, Adam.
You're welcome.
And my today's guest was Adam from Coventry University.
Thank you.